Welcome to the Gwinnett Daily Post Podcast. Today is Friday, March 31st, and happy 52nd birthday to actor Ewan McGregor.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
I'm Bruce Jenkins, and here are your top stories presented by Mall of Georgia Dodge Jeep Chrysler. A MLK statue created by Georgia artists will be unveiled Saturday. The Gwinnett Stripers have some intriguing new food offerings at Coolray Field this year, and we get our Gwinnett Sports Update presented by Tom Wage's Funeral Home. Plus, we'll talk with Ryan Cox, founder of the Gwinnett Chat Outreach, to learn how the organization is helping high schoolers in Gwinnett and how you can support them. We'll have all of this and more on the Gwinnett Daily Post Podcast.
We sat down with Lauren Livesay and Colin Cappy, second-generation employees of Kia Mall of Georgia, and asked them what makes Kia Mall of Georgia different.
We are family-owned and operated. We have been here for going on 29 years. We take everything to heart here, and all of our hard work is what we put into it as a family. Not every other business has that.
Been here in Buford for 25 years, selling cars to anyone that wants one. The reasons why you would come to a small family-owned dealership, you get that sort of family experience.
Kia Mall of Georgia, making a difference in the lives of their customers. Go see them on the lot at 4180 Buford Drive in Buford, or visit them online at kiamallofgeorgia.com.
I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
A statue of Martin Luther King Jr. will be unveiled on Saturday at Rodney Cook Sr. Peace Park in Atlanta's historic Vine City as part of a festive day that includes a peace walk and awards to local leaders. The statue was designed and sculpted by Georgia artists Fincher and Stan Mullins and commissioned by several local and national philanthropists, including Clyde Strickland, a Gwinnett philanthropist. The statue shows Dr. King delivering his iconic "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech. The event will begin at the Home Depot backyard with gates opening at 10 a.m., followed by a peace walk to Rodney Cook Sr. Peace Park, greetings and speakers, and the statue unveiling at 1 p.m.
Down to the ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some beer and beer and beer. And some nachos.
The Gwinnett Stripers have added new seafood dishes to the menus at Coolray Field, as well as other menu items to reflect its fish-themed name and logo. The change was initiated by Coolray Field Chef Jamerius Chef J. Sims, who noticed a lack of seafood items in the stadium's eateries. The three new seafood dishes include catfish baskets, fish tacos, and crab cake sandwiches. Other new items on the menu include Cuban sandwiches, home-brewed sweet tea, buffalo chicken Philly, walking taco, blooming onion petals, and more. The Stripers are the first professional team in Metro Atlanta to open their season at home this year, as the Atlanta Braves opened their season yesterday on the road in Washington, D.C. First pitch for Stripers opening day is tonight at 7:05, and the first 2,500 fans will get a free 2023 schedule magnet cling. Gwinnett County Public Schools plans to add an extra $1,000 to the $2,000 raise that the state legislators approved for teachers, resulting in an unexpected increase of about $3,000 for teachers' salaries. Additionally, GCPS employees not on the district's teacher salary schedule will receive at least a 4% cost of living raise. Compensation was the top priority for the GCPS employees in a district survey of budget priorities. The proposed FY 2024 budget is $3 billion, with $2.3 billion allocated for the general fund. The district plans to add 317 instructional positions to accommodate an expected increase of 2,064 students. And now, GDP Sports editor Will Hammock joins us for our Gwinnett Sports Update, presented by Tom Wage's Funeral Home.
And we're back with Will Hammock, editor of the Gwinnett Daily Post Sports section, for our Gwinnett Sports Update, brought to you by Tom Wage's Funeral Home. And Will, it's always good to have you here. And we're going to start off a little bit more football news, as a couple of new head football coaches were announced this week.
Yeah, I keep thinking we're going to be out of the new head football coach business, but they seems like every week we're getting one or two new ones. So I think we're probably done now. I think this probably does it. But one of the hires was Roy Groshek. He's the new head football coach at Discovery. He's been at Central Gwinnett as the offensive line coach over there and offensive coordinator. He does a great job. He's well respected wherever he's been. Seems like a great guy. He was at Collinsville for a long time in their 9th grade program, and also coached at Meadow Creek under Jason Carrera, who's now the Central Gwinnett AD. So he comes pretty highly regarded. He came from Wisconsin down here, but he's made quite an impact since he's been down here. The other one is very local. Providence Christian Academy hired John Russ to be the new head football coach over there at Providence. John's a former record-breaking quarterback at Mill Creek, and he actually started up the football program at Mercer. He was their starting quarterback for almost 8,000 yards the first few years when they restarted the program. But he's well respected too. He's coached at the college level. He coached at Mercer where he played, and also has several years of high school experience, including some time here at Hebron and Gwinnett. And of course, he's got strong ties to Mill Creek, but he's made an impact wherever he's gone. I remember him playing. He was a very talented quarterback, but excited to see what he can do with that young Providence program, which still never been to the state playoffs, never won more than 4 games in a season. So he's got a lot to build there, but I think he's going to do a great job.
Exciting to see what both those guys can do, and definitely interesting to see what Providence does. Having a coach that has the experience of building a youth program at Mercer, but has when he was a player. I mean, that definitely is just invaluable experience that not everybody's going to have. We'll flip over to wrestling now. The other week we discussed how Gwinnett had a great showing at the state tournament in wrestling. We had a few Gwinnett wrestlers that have won national titles.
Yeah, so several of those guys that were state champions went on to the national level. Every year they have the National High School Coaches Association National Tournament. It's kind of the biggest high school tournament coming off the high school season, where the wrestlers they go compete in their weight class and they're also their class in school. So you're competing against other kids around the nation in the same weight class. Drew Gorman, a sophomore at Peachtree Ridge, he's already got 2 state championships in 2 seasons. Up there at the high school level. He went 7-0 at the 132-pound level among sophomores. He was a field of 128 guys, and he was pretty dominant in that event to win a national title. And then the Mill Creek had a trio of guys do really well. Brothers Amonte Mills and Antonio Mills both won championships. Amonte won the senior title at 126 pounds. Antonio won the freshman title at 113 pounds. And Dominic Bambinelli, who probably had the best high school season of any wrestler, he finished as the runner-up at 152 for sophomores. So going to be a bright future. And you noticed that a couple of those guys were sophomores and one was a freshman. So the future of Gwinnett wrestling looks pretty good for Beaufort and Mill Creek.
When you do that well as a freshman or a sophomore, the expectations for the rest of your career are just going to be sky high. So exciting stuff to continue to watch those guys grow and develop. And the last thing we'll talk about is Gwinnett Swim and Dive Boosters will have their celebration to honor the best.
Yeah, we're with the Gwinnett Swim and Dive Booster Club Wednesday night. They had their banquet and big celebration. They do it every year. I think this was the 16th year they've done it. And they do a really nice job with it. And I was able to attend and see some of the talented kids. I think what stands out to me about swimmers, they're not only great kids in the pool, but outside the pool, some of the best academic kids as far as athletes you'll see. The big award winners, Tristan Denbrock from North Gwinnett and Katie Choate from Norcross. They're going to go. They were the swimmers of the year. Tristan's going to swim for the Georgia Bulldogs, and Katie's going to swim for the Florida Gators. And then divers of the year were Chloe Brothers from Brookwood, who had a great season, and Hayden Shelton from Peachtree Ridge. Both those are underclassmen, so they'll be coming back next year in diving. And then they had a special ceremony for a couple of retiring coaches that have been in the county for a long time. Jeremy Laird from Peachtree Ridge. He's the only swim coach they've ever had at Peachtree Ridge. He's been there 20 years as their head coach. And then Jim Reason, he's been at Duluth for 24 years as head coach, built a great program over there at Duluth, and it competes year in and year out. So but good luck both those guys in retirement, and another fun night for swimming and diving.
Always good to get a good celebration of swimming and diving, which has just been such a strong program in Gwinnett County. Just great stuff. Well, Will, as always, I appreciate you coming by. I hope you have a fun weekend. I know we got a lot going on with the Stripers opening up, and MLB baseball is back, and there will be plenty of local sports, and look forward to talking with you next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.
More than 130 students recently attended the Oliver Math Competition held at Georgia Gwinnett College in honor of the late Dr. Andre Oliver, a mathematics professor who founded and organized the competition. Oliver's daughter, Maria, said her father wanted to inspire an interest in math, education, and learning, and the competition serves as a fun and engaging way to accomplish those goals. The Oliver competition is open to students from 1st through 10th grade and continues to grow in popularity.
Hi, I'm Peggy with Peggy Slappy Properties. Our experienced realtors are ready to make the play and help you find your next home. Whether buying, selling, or renting, our winning team will help you navigate today's market. Call us today, 770-271-5555, or check us out online at psponline.com. Enriching lives one story at a time with over 40 years and counting.
Everyone is worried about inflation, and for many on a fixed income, Tom M. Wages Funeral Service pre-funding funeral prearrangements allows you to beat inflation. Because we put your money in a trust, Tom M. Wages is able to guarantee your family will not have to pay the future costs of goods and services, regardless of how much it increases in the future. Prices will always go up. A sure way to save money and beat inflation is to pre-fund your prearranged funeral today. Let the family service professionals at Tom M. Wages in Snellville or Lawrenceville help you. Call Tom M. Wages at 770-978-3200 or email Jim at wagesfuneralhome.com. Tom M. Wages, the most respected and requested funeral home in Gwinnett County.
Discover the vivid palette of our world in Fernbank Museum's immersive and interactive exhibit, The Nature of Color. Step into a color-changing room, virtually paint, and grasp the meaning of color diversity as you explore how hues play roles in nature, emotion, science, and culture. Paint your world full of fun, beauty, and wonder for a limited time. Get tickets at fernbankmuseum.org/color.
And now here's community reporter Matt Golden to give us 5 events to get you out there this weekend.
Hello, Gwinnett listeners. We have a beautiful spring weekend out there, and here are 5 things to get you out there this weekend. If you're looking for additional events, please head over to the Gwinnett Daily Post community calendar. First off, it's the Gwinnett Stripers home opener. Tonight at 7:05 at Coolray Field. In Lawrenceville, fans can come early to see the 2023 coaching staff and players introduced in a pregame ceremony. A spectacular fireworks display will follow the game, weather permitting, and the game will also include the 2023 Schedule Clean giveaway presented by Georgia Power to the first 2,500 fans. For more information, head over to milb.com/Gwinnett. Today from 5 to 11, tomorrow from 1 to 11, and Sunday from 1 to 11, it's Big Rock Amusements Carnival of Mall of Georgia at Mall of Georgia in Beaufort. Big Rock Amusements by Keva Works is hosting its annual carnival. Wristbands are available for purchase at the carnival. It will be located in the parking lot between Belk and Von Maur. For more information, head over to simon.com. Tonight at the Lawrenceville Arts Center at 8 p.m., it's the Mad Hatters. The Aurora Theater presents the Mad Hatters, seasoned Atlanta pros who've made it their mission to replicate Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. The band is comprised of rock veterans from the Georgia Satellites and other big-name touring acts. Tickets start at $19. For more information, head over to auroratheater.com. Today from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. it's the Basil Watson exhibition at the Hudgens. In Duluth, the exhibition titled My People, the drawings and sculpture of Basil Watson will showcase his vibrant and expressive sculptures and drawings. Basil Watson is a local black sculptor often recognized for creating the Hope Moving Forward MLK monument in Atlanta. And tonight at 8 p.m. at the Eddie Owen Presents and Red Clay Music Foundry in Duluth, it's Chi-Town Transit Authority. Chi-Town Transit Authority is an 8-piece Chicago tribute band founded in 2017 and based out of Atlanta, dedicated to producing the Chicago concert experience. For more information, head over to eddieowenpresents.com. Hopefully some of these events pique your interest and maybe I'll see you out there this weekend. Have a fun and safe weekend, Gwinnett County.
A Lawrenceville man, Jair Alejandro Contreras Sagojon, has been charged with felony murder, cruelty to children, and aggravated assault for allegedly killing his ex-girlfriend, Ruby Maldonado Nava, and setting her body on fire in Oglethorpe County. Police were initially called to perform a welfare check on Nava, but could not find her. Upon questioning, Sagojon admitted to getting into a physical altercation with Nava and choking her until she stopped breathing. He then loaded her body into a car and drove to Oglethorpe County, where he set it on fire. Skeletal remains were found in the burned car, and Sagojon was arrested and booked to jail. Gwinnett County Public Schools Superintendent Calvin Watts will remain in charge through at least the end of June 2025, the county's school board decided Tuesday night. The school board voted 4-1 to give Watts a 2-year extension to his contract, which had previously been set to expire this summer. Board Chairwoman Therese Johnson cast the lone vote against extending Watts' contract. After the called meeting, Watts told reporters that he is ready to continue to stay laser-focused on the academic, the behavioral, and the social well-being of each and every student in the district. He sent an abridged version of his comments to parents and GCPS employees on Tuesday evening. Now we sit down with Ryan Cox, founder of Gwinnett Chat Outreach, to learn more about what they do for Gwinnett high schoolers and how you can help.
My name is Ryan Cox. I am the founder and director of Gwinnett Chat Outreach. We are a nonprofit based in Gwinnett County, working with teenagers, bringing them around to businesses to get an idea of what it's like to work in different industries. So we do behind the scenes tours. We take them on college visits. We do events at Topgolf where we go out and bring out guest speaker to come out and talk to the group, hang out with us for a couple hours.
That is so cool. So you said you are the founder of Gwinnett Chat Outreach.
Correct.
What inspired you to start this organization?
Well, the way I always say is, if you're familiar with the show, Everybody Hates Chris. You ever watch that?
I have, yes.
So that was like nearly an identical biography to my life. So if you look at the name Gwinnett Chat Outreach, the chat stands for Chattanooga. So that's where I'm originally from. And so I grew up in East Chattanooga, and I went to high school, Sadie Daisy High School, which is about 45 minutes away from my house. And so just like in the show, I got bused from one side of town to the other side. And it just kind of opened up my eyes to a different world and a different way of living and seeing things. So it was like a culture shock, even though we're like in the same county. And so I started seeing things, and then I went to a career fair at school, and I started hearing about jobs, and I was like, man, I've never heard of any of these jobs before. And then I remember being on the bus going to school and seeing the neighborhoods and seeing the homes. I was like, man, these are some nice houses. Same thing with cars, like seeing people in high school driving cars, like to me was like, who has a car in high school? It was like, you must be rich. And so I just kind of put all the pieces together, and it's something that stuck with me. And I said, you know what? If I would have knew, if people where I lived at knew about these jobs and things like this, and they want to drive this car and they want to live in this house, this is the type of jobs you got to have. So it's something that stuck with me since I was a teenager. And so when I decided to start a nonprofit, it was something that I thought about my high school years.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to start. And it's awesome that you took something very personal to you and have spread it to others. So how do you get kids involved with Gwinnett Chat Outreach?
So we do different events around town. So this coming Saturday, we will be with the Lawrenceville Police Department, where we do our produce drives. So we do these about every month, and we will have flyers. And with our flyers, we'll start advertising, hey, are you looking for a positive program for your team to get in? Just advertising it. So it varies. So it's like that. Sometimes it's word of mouth. Some of the kids in the program themselves will talk to some of the parents will talk, and then sometimes, just social media word spreads. So it varies.
So with something like that, do you ever get the kids that maybe the parents are a little more enthusiastic about joining than the kids are? And how do you kind of get those kids to get excited about Gwinnett Chat?
Yeah, it's always like that. Like almost every kid that that comes into the program, and they've interviewed in the past where it's been like, I'm only here because my mom, we go to a business, like my mom made me come, or my parents made me do this. And it's funny because this weekend we actually, they actually had a chance to be a part of a podcast. And you listen to their attitudes now from like a year ago, night and day. They're like, it's a family. I feel like these are my brothers. We do everything. We talk, and it's like, and then they start talking about everything that they like. So, but they end up, they end up just naturally one event, they're quiet. And then to the second event, they start talking to each other more. Then the third event, and then by the fourth event, they're their natural selves by then. Then it's like, hey, when is our next event? I can't wait to get started.
I think that's really a universal experience of being a kid, is that your parents are like, or your mom or your dad, someone's like, hey, guess what? You're going to start doing this. And at first you probably don't want to do it. And then you go about 2 or 3 times and you love it. And I think all of us have had those kind of experiences through church groups or maybe through different activities. So it's definitely, I can definitely empathize with how some of those kids feel going into it, but it's awesome that they quickly learn how great it is and find a way to enjoy it.
Oh yeah, they love it. And so it's to the point where like they get so excited where even when we have things that that we like volunteer events that we do in the community, they're calling and asking me, hey, can I be a part of that? I want to come to that too. So it just shows you like how much growth they become as people, because they get that push, and then it's like, okay, yeah, I feel good about doing this stuff. I love it. It makes me feel better as a person.
Absolutely. So how long has Gwinnett Chat Outreach been around?
This is our 4th year, technically 4 years. But we started doing events about 3 years ago, like just before COVID hit. This is when we started.
So y'all really were kind of getting started around the time COVID hit.
Right.
What were the kind of challenges with that?
Well, the challenge that I just originally, like me, I was a chef for 20 years. So nobody knew who I was. I'm just this random chef, and I started a nonprofit. And the challenge more than anything is like, people are like, who are you? And so it was more building up literally for me, because I had no name recognition. I had a board that is like, yes, I have to have a board in place to start a nonprofit. And that was it. But I had to build a brand. I had to build a brand from scratch. And so my thing was, get out here and work as hard as I can to where people know who I am. And that honestly was the hardest part. And I'm still working on that now. But my name with the brand and everything has grown since then.
So, as you mentioned earlier, Gwinnett Chat Outreach, the focus is high school kids. Do you have, what opportunities are there for when kids kind of, graduate from high school and they either go into jobs, go into college, if they still want to be connected and help out with the group? Are there those opportunities for that?
Yeah. So we always have volunteer opportunities. Like we actually have one young man too who graduated high school. He goes to Gwinnett Tech now. And so he still comes to all the events. So he's still involved. So he's like, I just want to be a part of it. So, and then we have, when we do food drives and other community events, like we do one every year for MLK, we always need volunteers.
So how can someone like me volunteer?
It just depends on I would say the biggest thing is spread the word of what we're doing. We started a campaign called Bet on GCO, which is, we shortened Gwinnett Chat Outreach GCO. So we started this campaign where we're trying to get, our goal is 200 people to donate $5 a month towards the program. So one thing about the program that I didn't mention is our program is 100% free. We don't charge for anything that the kids do. So if you see any events to do, they all have t-shirts, hoodies, different apparel, and that's a free item to them. We provide transportation to literally going to pick everybody up. We take them out and then we feed them at every event as well. We do this at zero cost to them. And I wanted this program to be that way because I know what it's like to grow up and not have anything, not be able to participate in everything that you want to do, and you get left out. So I was like, well, let me give other kids an opportunity. So cost isn't an issue. Transportation isn't an issue. They'll be able to participate and get a kind of even playing field that someone who has the resources. So I want to keep that free. So that's what I'm saying. Bet on us. I'm like, I know there's a lot of nonprofits out here, but I say, if you come out and see what we do in person, you can't help but to love what we're doing. So I want you to bet on us and say that we're going to do what's best for the kids in our program.
That is amazing. And how many kids are in the program right now?
We have around 20 active or so. There's about 30 total, but we're limited with our resources. So we need help so we can do more.
But that is very impressive that you've got 20 to 30 kids that you're able to feed at events, give them apparel, transport them at no cost to them. I mean, that is very impressive.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And so we need the help. So like I said, I started this 4 years ago with zero name recognition. I had about $500. So we're still trying to get up there. So it's, we've been fortunate with the resources that we have had. And we got some board members on board now that's helping. So we have a golf tournament coming up. And it's another way that you can help. So one of the, I know I'm kind of segueing, but one of the things you could do within the golf tournament is you can sponsor one of the kids to play a round of golf. And so what we want to do is we want the kids to be able to spend, be inside of a foursome. So that way they can spend that time networking and then they can start building up that. So we want to get them used to networking and knowing what that's like. And, they say the deals are made on the golf course. Well, we're trying to get them a heads up on that.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea because golf really is in business is so often a great networking event, but it's also a sport that kind of can keep certain people out because of financial barrier. So that's absolutely a great way to do it. And I think that's a really neat event. When is that golf tournament?
It's going to be June 9th. It's going to be at Barris Best, Atlanta, out in Swanee.
So how can people sign up for the or sign up to sponsor someone for the golf tournament?
Yeah, you can go to the website, gwinnettchat.org/golf. That's it. You just go in there, click on the link, and there's different types of sponsorships on there. So even if you just want to come out and play.
That is awesome. That is really cool. Ryan, I think what you've got going is really great. I'm very, very excited to learn more about this. I think there'll be a lot of good opportunities with it.
I just say don't give up on our teenagers. I know there's a lot of things, negative things and perceptions and things like that, but I truly believe if they had an outlet and they have a place where they can go and just be able to thrive and things that are at no cost. And so we need more things. We got to promote more things at cost because a lot of times I think kids just get left out And they start doing things because they just don't have the resources. And so I say, let's get rid of some of those barriers and some of those hurdles so we can help them out more. And not just, the other thing I would say with that is we have to look out for the students that aren't just at the A and B level. We got to look at those C and D students. Those are the ones who get overlooked the most. So we got to do more to make sure that they're getting the attention that they deserve to keep them out of trouble.
The Gwinnett Daily Post is giving away a 4-pack of tickets to Fernbank Museum. Call 404-997-8655 and leave a voicemail for your chance to win. It's hockey time in the A. The Atlanta Gladiators return to Gas South Arena for another season of huge hits, incredible goals,
lands down for Oliver. Oliver shoots and rebound loose. They score!
And wild celebrations. Head over to AtlantaGladiators.com to get your tickets today as we celebrate 20 years of Atlanta Gladiators hockey. The Atlanta Gladiators, Atlanta's hockey team.
Again, Kylie gets it back. Near side Vitelli. He shoots and scores!
From the water that flows from your tap to the roads you drive on your way to work, Gwinnett County government provides high-quality services to residents every day. Our residents, businesses, schools, local governments, and nonprofits have a long tradition of working together to make Gwinnett the best place to live, work, play, and raise a family. Together, we'll ensure that Gwinnett is a place where everyone thrives. Learn more about county services at GwinnettCounty.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at GwinnettGov.
Thanks again for listening to today's Gwinnett Daily Post podcast. Did you know over 50% of Americans listen to podcasts weekly? Make sure you join us for our next episode and be sure to share this podcast on social media with your friends and family. Add us to your Alexa Flash Briefing or your Google Home Briefing, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. Darren Sutherland, executive producer. Jacob Sutherland, director. Producers Jason Gentarola and Matt Golden. And Jinrei Zhang, video producer. All rights reserved.